Hi, I'm Orion. Last year I created a list of books, films, albums and TV shows that I wanted to watch before the year ended. Now, knowing me, I ended up not doing that, and so I decided to create this series as somewhat of a catch-up from last year. Now, at this point when this is being filmed, I essentially made the decision to scrap the entire series, but I still wanted to show you what I've been enjoying in the past 6 months, because yes, it took me up to June to decide to scrap this series, but I still wanted to show you what the things I have done and watched or read or listened to have been. This is the list, part 2 of 3. Hi, I just finished watching Fathom. For those of you who don't know what it is, because you probably won't have heard it, it is basically an Apple original documentary. So yeah, that's why you probably have never heard of it. And it's all about some scientists who are trying to communicate with whales. Basically, a first of its kind, in a sense, of them trying to play a whale sound, humpback whale sound to be precise, and hoping they get a response. And they do, and yeah, they managed to find out one way in which, like, a sound which humpback whales use as like a greeting, as like a hello. So yeah, it was kind of interesting, but it wasn't quite what I was expecting. I will admit, I did pick it out over a year ago now, so of course I would have different expectations now. But yeah, it was a decent documentary. Obviously, it's Apple, well produced. I think I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah. See, I don't want to start using decimals now at this point, so I'll keep it at a 3. I'm gonna go to bed now because I've got 20 minutes to go to bed and read. Yeah. So I have read Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, the first book of this video. It was really insightful and kind of made me, kind of gave me more inspiration for One Last Year. And it's making me want to, show my work a little bit more. And yeah, it's a pretty good book. I'd give it 4 out of 5. Would recommend if you're a creative in any way, shape or form. Hi, so I finished Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. Yeah, I read that. I finished it. He had some really great advice in there. A lot of things that really resonated with me, and things that I hopefully, with an asterisk, hopefully will continue taking into account the things he mentioned in the future. I'm saying it very vaguely because I finished it a few days ago and I forgot to finish this segment. So yeah, decent book. I rate it a 4 out of 5. Admittedly, I forgot to record segments for this for a while, so yeah, I'm just getting back into this. So, I read Sustainable Badass by Gitta Johansson, and I thought it was alright. It felt like sort of the perfect amalgamation of everything she's about from her YouTube channel, but all in one place and all in one book, and I think that's a great thing. Was it that enjoyable to read? I mean, I'm gonna chalk it down to like the fact that I sort of read it over quite a long time. But yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah, it was okay. Also, yeah, if you can't already tell, I recorded this on the same day as the previous segment. So I read Atomic Habits by James Clear. And I rated it a 3 out of 5. Admittedly, I haven't actually remembered many of the points from the book, and I only finished it a few days ago, so it's probably a bad sign. Thankfully, I do have Readwise, so I think I'll do some sort of recap of it at some point and look back. Now, the first album, I was so excited for this, and I'm glad that I was excited for it, because it is none other than Capri Songs by FKA Twigs. Oh my god. What a project. What an album. It is just straight up bop after bop after bop, and we stan. Obviously, it's FKA Twigs, it's going to be amazing. So, yeah. Great album. I give it a 5 out of 5, which is high praise considering how picky and choosy I am with my albums. So yeah. I also finished Melt My Eyes See Your Future by Denzel Curry. Admittedly, I can't really remember that much from it, but I do remember that it was packed with bangers. So I give it a 4 out of 5. Again, it was a while ago because I listened to it whilst I was on the train to London, and I haven't listened to it again. I should probably do that, but yeah, anyways. Okay, I'm also doing a big blast of albums. Funnily enough, I just recorded a blast of books for the third edition of this series. So, starting off with SOS by SZA. I can't actually remember much about this album, which feels a bit odd. But it was enjoyable to listen to, but I just wouldn't. There wasn't really a moment I could like pick out and say, yeah, this is why I like this. And it just felt a little. In some ways, I feel like it was a bit one note. I know that it is very much a cult favourite on like Twitter, but it just is not for me. Now, I gave it a 3 out of 5, but I think on second thoughts, I'd maybe knock it down to 2. Don't crucify me. Don't do that. Next up, we have the album I Love You, Jennifer B by Jockstrap, released in 2022. Oh my god, what a album full of crack. It has been a while since I did listen to it, and I only listened to it once, but it was fun. It was enjoyable. I'll double check what my favourite tracks are, because I have a playlist of all of the tracks that I liked the most. New stuff I've liked. Deborah. that track. Yeah. I enjoyed it. For whatever reason, I gave it a 3 out of 5, just on the fact that I wouldn't really listen to it. And it's not really my taste. But I feel like... I'm going to keep it at 3 out of 5. Potentially a 4. I'm not going to put 3.5, you know, I'm not going to add decimals in, because, it's a bit late now. But yeah, 3 out of 5 stars. Next up is Super Champon by Autoboke Beaver. Again, like Jockstrap's album, it was fun. It was fun to listen to. It was short. It was short though. But yeah, it was fun to listen to. I don't know if I'd listen to it again. And I couldn't really pick out any sort of single track to recommend or say I like this the most. But I gave it a 3 out of 5. Like the previous one, could go to 4 if I listened to it more and really liked it. Lastly, in this sort of little blast is Charlotte Adigéry and Bolis Pupil with Topical Dancer. It was fun, but there were many moments where sort of certain views were in your face, and it felt like just a bit cringy and a bit preachy. I know that's totally what the album's meant to be, and it's not for everyone. And it certainly wasn't for me. At least the lyrics. The sort of instrumentals, fine. Take it or leave it. They were alright. But the lyrics just made me just cringe deep inside. So for that reason, I give it a 2 out of 5. Hi, so I just listened to Hellfire by Black Midi, and yeah, I certainly have feelings, and yes, I'm filming right by an open window. Black Midi is a band that I really wish I could like more, and I wish I could like math rock more, because it does go unbelievably hard. But it's just not something that I would listen to on a regular basis. And quite frankly, I couldn't, whilst I was listening to it, I was doing uni work, well, not uni work, but personal admin work, and I couldn't get into it. I didn't think there were that many big moments that I could think of. Sucks. But anyway, that's it for this part of the video. We'll see, I don't know what order I put things in, but this might be the last bit. So, that part 2, ended a little bit more prematurely than I would like. Obviously, I listened to all the albums. Of course I did, I think. But one of the things that I started and then didn't finish was Squid Game. And that has been a series that I started it in March, April time. But I just could not find the push to finish it. And it is now June. And my want to finish that series has kind of just gone down the drain. And as such, that was sort of the instrumental reason as to why I decided to scrap this series initially. Because I didn't want to force myself to watch something that I wasn't loving, so to speak. And Squid Game was just that thing. Now, I also had a voice break. I also didn't watch Free to Play, which is a documentary on esports. I put it down on a list several years ago to watch, and I kept moving it and not watching it, essentially. And now I'm just like, well, I give up. I give up wanting to even try watching it, because at some point, if you've got a list of things you want to watch, you just have to cull things at some point. And yeah, I could have watched it at any point, because, you know, I think it's only like an hour and a half long. But yeah, wasn't doing that. I've been Orion, signing out. That was part 2 of 3 of the list.